the DGCA has prohibited charging power banks in flight and using them with the in-seat power systems after incidents related to lithium batteries catching fire mid-flight. As per the new rules, airlines have been told to conduct risk safety assessments, and that this is part of the aviation watchdog has recently issued a dangerous goods advisory circular which bars the use of power banks to charge their portable electronic devices in flight. Power banks and batteries are now only allowed in hand luggage, not the overhead bins. Passengers are also prohibited to charge their power banks by plugging them to the in-seat power supply systems that airlines provide. So let's quickly take a look as to what these new rules really mean for passengers and what is allowed to be carried in flights. Power banks and spare batteries are still allowed to be carried in the hand luggage. You just can't charge them using the in-flight facilities, the charging facilities that flights provide, and they are only allowed in hand luggage. As I mentioned, that use and charging power banks on the flight is no longer allowed, and that power banks are no longer allowed to be stored in the overhead bins. If you put the power bank in a bag and then store it in the overhead bin, that is no longer allowed. It can only be kept with yourself, not in the overhead bins. This is because of various incidents where power banks have caught fire and led to safety issues. Let's listen to the Civil Aviation Minister and what he had to say on these latest rules.
DGCA, whenever it gives any guidelines or rules, it keeps the safety of the people and the aircraft in mind. So whatever it does thorough research, thorough consultation, and most of it comes from the International Civil Aviation Organization, which is consulting with stakeholders across the world. So once they decide on a certain rule or regulation, it is important for us also to follow so that we maintain that safety, and it is in that regard we are doing it.